Hey guys, this is Mr. Marks. Just quickly wanted to go over the rest of the instructions for the radiology payroll to make sure that you guys complete it fully and definitely understand what's happening as we move through the instructions and especially page 2. So yesterday we did calculate column E, F, G, H, row 13, row 14. We also went through most of the formatting instructions except for G, H, and I, which is centering the worksheet vertically and horizontally and then printing it. And so I will cover that today towards the end of the video to make sure that you guys do center it. What I wanted to focus on for now was the second sheet, which is creating the pie chart. So I have mine opened up right here, and here's the pie chart. This is where we left off. On the instructions it says to rename the tab, move the chart over to a new sheet. So I'm going to right click, move chart to a new sheet, and we can name that new sheet pie chart. And after I've done that, we will see a new sheet right here. We have the title, which we have already titled Employees Gross Pay. And we actually want to make sure that the title is 20-point font. So we could increase font size to 20 point. If we want, we can move it down. We could resize this a little bit to make some more room if we need to, but I think it looks pretty good just like that. Alright, in the instructions looking at letter C on page 2, just so you know where I am, letter C, add your own money or paycheck graphic. So I'm going to click in the chart area. I'm going to go to the Insert tab. I have an Illustrations drop down, but I'm going to find an online picture, something that deals with money or paycheck, because our project is completely about radiology payroll. So I'm going to search money and see what I find. I like this one right here, so I click Insert, and there it is. I'm going to resize it so it fits nice and clean right in the corner there. You could put it in any quarter, whichever works for you. Now I'm also going to take this pie chart by clicking kind of in these imaginary white corners and shrink it down a little bit, because we are going to let me move it over by clicking the border, moving it over, because we are going to put some data labels on this chart. Step D, or in step 4, letter D says to show the employee name, gross pay, and percent for each piece of the pie chart. So this is where we need to click on the actual pie chart, go to our Design tab in the Chart Tools, and we need to add a chart element. Now these are data labels. I am going to start with outside end and see how that works. Now, because currently we have the gross pay, but we don't have the name, we don't have the percentage, I'm going to click on these data labels and right click once they're all selected and go to Format Data Labels. Once we click Format Data Labels, all these options should show up on the right side, and this is where we could actually select category name to show what person is each slice of the pie. And then we could also click percentage, so it shows the name, the dollar amount, and the percentage. Now leader lines, I'll show you what those are once I start to move these a little bit farther away from the pie chart. It's just a line that also ties this data label to the slice of pie. And so once we've done that, you could see what the positions would look like if we put it in the center. That's why I started with outside end. Best fit looks okay, but I think outside end looks the cleanest, so we're going to keep it there. Once you've done that, you can check the X, and as I move these farther away, the leader lines should tie themselves to the pie chart. So you could go ahead and drag them a little bit farther to include those leader lines, just so there's no questions about which data label goes to each slice of the pie. So I'm going to stretch those out so now they are all touching the pie, and that is exactly how it looks or should look on our instructions. Now the last few steps are to add our name, file name, and tab name to the right of the footer. Instead of tab name, we could call it pie chart. So we need to add a footer, and then we need to print. So I'm going to quickly go through these. In order to add a footer, if I go to the insert, I don't have a footer, but you guys should be able to have a footer option. Now on this, if I go to page setup, header footer, this is how I'm going to get there, but you guys should be able to go to insert and be able to see header footer. Now for me, I'm going to add a footer. I'm going to click custom footer, and that gives me a left section, a center section, and a right section. So in the left section, I'm going to put my name. You guys should put yours. In the center section, I'm going to put Radiology Payroll. And then the right section, this is the pie chart. So I'm going to type pie chart. And click OK, and click OK. Now it doesn't look like anything necessarily happened, but when we do go to print this, you should see those three in your print preview. So the last step in the instructions are to print in color, and we still need to print the worksheet with the grid lines, print the worksheet showing formulas, and center the worksheet. So first I'm going to start by printing. File, print, and when I go there you can see my footer. All of them are there. The color printer is 4700 P3. Click print, and it will print that. Now if I go to sheet 1, I need to print two versions. I need to print one like this, and by selecting Control and the tilde key, I need to print one with my formulas. So first one, I need to click Page Setup, just to make sure that everything is centered. Click on the Margins tab, and this is where I could center it horizontally and vertically. Okay, and so I go to that and click OK. Now when I go to File, Print, it will be in the center, okay, which is nice. If I wanted to, I could print in landscape, so it's nice and centered. So you will want to print one like this, and you'll also want to print one Control tilde like this. And when you go to File, Print, it does overflow onto two sheets of paper, but instead I'd like you to go to Scaling and fit sheet on one page. And so it does look smaller, but I'll be able to read it. And once again, print to P3. As for the grid lines, right now, don't worry about that. I'd rather just have you guys print this. I want the order to be specific, so look on the daily agenda in order to see what order you put the pie chart, your formulas, and your answers. And once you're done, staple it, turn it into the sub, and you guys could go ahead and get started on the next project, which is very similar. It's Jefferson Medical, which is right here. Very similar. All the formulas are there. It looks very, very similar. The only difference is this slice of pie, and in order to remove one slice of pie, to explode the pie, it's actually called, you could click on one slice of pie, and as you move the one out, it will move one out. If you selected all of them, let me undo quickly. If I selected all of them, it would explode all of them out. So just make sure that you have one selected, otherwise you're going to have to click each slice of the pie back in, and then just remove one of them. But you could kind of play around with that, and all you do is click to drag it out and click to drag it back in. Alright, so best of luck. Thank you guys for being good for the sub today. I appreciate it. And that is it for my video. Alright.